Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope that all is well with each of you. I hope that your family, your friends, your loved ones, everybody is doing well. It's your boy, once again, Charles White. But y'all know when I'm on this mic, it's just a young man telling his story. How you doing, Mr. Adams? Good to see you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Congratulations to you again, my brother, for what you have been doing down in your hometown in Florida. So tonight, the motivational word is dealing with friendship and family. Friendships and family. And so the title of the motivational word that we're going to get into is titled All About the Tree. All About the Tree. All About the Tree. So if you have old school grandparents, you've probably heard this story about the tree and how it deals with friendship. Or even if you watched a Tyler Perry play entitled Madea Goes to Jail, there's a scene in the particular movie where Madea, Tyler Perry, is talking to Sonny, I think, and they're having a conversation, and it's during the time that I think his wife cheats on him. And so they're having a conversation, and Madea starts telling him about how important a tree is and how it deals with family members and friendships. And in this particular time and season that we're living in, especially, it is critical that we look at who in our circle and who's on our team. So, what is a tree? I'm glad you asked. What is a tree? It's a wooden plant. It's a wooden plant, typically having a single stem or trunk growing to a considerably height and bearing literal branches at some distance from the ground. That's what a tree is. So if you go outside wherever you live, you're going to see a tree. We have trees that grow things that we eat, like apple trees, and then you have your oak trees and all your other types of different type of trees. But there's three key points that comes with a tree: leaves, branches, and roots. Now, let's go back to the Madea play, Madea Goes to Jail. She brings up leaves, branches, and roots. And so she's telling Sonny that you have to decipher who's your leaves, who your branches is, and who your roots are. And so your something to think about is this. Your something to think about is this. A tree is there to give you shade, but not all shade is good shade. A tree is there to give you shade, but not all shade is good shade. Write that down, put that in your notes, put that somewhere, because you're going to remember that, because we're going to go back to that something to think about. A tree is there to give you shade, but not all shade is good shade. So let's look at leaves. Let's look at leaves. That's the first thing of the tree. Let's look at the leaves here. So let's go back to describing a tree. So now you know, okay, you got to plant your tree, put your seed down, water it, make sure it grows. So now you have these things called leaves. And so it's so nice during the fall and the winter, especially in North Carolina. If you live in North Carolina, anywhere in the South, you get to see the leaves change. And they're so beautiful from when they change from spring to summer to fall to winter. So what am I saying? The seasons have changes. And so when they change, the leaves change. Some people just come in your life for a season. Some people just come in your life for a season. We got some family members and some friends that only come around Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, birthday. It's cool. Let's just be real. If we was to be real with ourselves, we have some people that just come in our lives just for a season. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, birthday. That's it. So when the season change, guess what? They change. And you can't get mad at them because you was looking for a root when really it was a leaf. You was expecting them to be a root when really it was a leaf. It's important that we realize that. So now, let's go back to the story about the Medea and Sonny. So now she's describing these leaves. And she's telling Sonny that even season to season, boo-boo, they gonna change. Folks is gonna switch up on you. And you gotta decipher who's a leaf and who's a root. Because you might be looking for a root and then you looking at a leaf. And then you sitting up crying at night and upset. But the crazy part is we do worse with the branches because we always getting stuck in them. We got to stop getting stuck in these branches. We got to stop getting stuck in these branches. So let's go back to describing this tree. So now you have your leaves, they grow season to season, they change. We understand that now. Now you have your branches. Why is branches so important to the tree? Because it keeps the leaf on the tree, right? Okay. But sometimes that branch breaks or gets cut. Sometimes the branch breaks or gets cut. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining me. Sometimes the branch breaks or gets cut. There are some people that come in your life that you expect them to be in your life for an eternity. You expect them, I'm going to be in your life. I got your back. I got you. And next thing you know, they break off and dip. Or they cut you off, or you got to cut them off. Because all hell done broke loose. And that's what branches usually do. When all hell break loose, they dip. Watch out. Family members and friends, you better watch out. You better decipher. So, how do branches break? I'm glad you asked. Well, the wind might blow it and knock it down. Then you got folks crazy enough to climb a tree and then it breaks. I'm just going to keep it real. There's some folks out there that like climbing trees. And then you got folks that may come in the neighborhood to cut the tree and cut the branches. And that's what your friends do. That's what your family do. Oh, I got your back. And then 6 months later, you call them and they ain't nowhere to be found. But they got your back. Matter of fact, let me talk a little bit more plain. You'll know a branch if you ever get stuck on the side of the road and instead of them stopping, they drive right past you and then tell 10 people you stuck on the side of the road instead of stopping. That's how you know a branch. You want to know how your business is out on Front Street? Might want to go look at the branches. Because here's the thing about branches. We tell them our deepest thoughts. We tell them our deepest thoughts. And you try to figure out sometimes how your business doesn't get out there. Or have somebody know what you're doing. You might want to go look at what branches you around. Might want to go check it out. But it's good news. It's good news. It's good news to the tree. Because now we got to go back to Medea goes to jail and the conversation that she's having with Sonny. She then explains to him about these branches and how they will sometimes break or get cut, or you have to break them off and cut them yourself. And so he's trying to figure out, well, why did this happen? What did I do? Let me just say, sometimes it's nothing that you did to deserve this. It's just the way they are. You can't be mad at them because that's just the way they are. That's just the way it is. But it's good news because it's something just about a root. It's something about a root that has the most importance to the tree, that has the most significance to the tree. And why is the root so important to the tree? Because let's go back to describing the tree. So when you plant the seed of the tree grows and you got to water it and you see it grow. But it's this thing called the roots. And see, the roots have to keep the tree together. Even when it may swing left or right, that root keeps it together. Even if somebody cuts it, if you don't pull that root out, that tree may have an opportunity to grow again. What am I saying? There are some people that come in your life just to keep you grounded. Just to make sure that when life starts to get a little bit rocky, they can be there just to keep you stable. And the one thing about roots you got to understand is they ain't going to tell nobody what they do for you. You ain't got to worry about them telling that they put groceries in your house when you needed it, when they had to pay a bill, when they had to make sure your textbooks was paid, when you didn't know when your next meal was going to come, when you didn't know if you was going to have shoes and clothes for shoes, when you didn't know how your phone bill was going to get paid. Sometimes the people are there just to keep you grounded. And it's just not material stuff that they do for you. They give you the most important wisdom. Good and bad. That's why roots are important. Some of you are mad at some of your friends because they keep it real with you. But the truth of the matter is, they keeping you grounded. Some of you are mad at some of your family members, but the truth of the matter is, they keeping you grounded. Because we give them the most heartache and pain. Instead of giving the leaves and the branches the most heartache and pain, we give the roots the most heartache and pain. But we'll go to the club and party with the leaves and the branches. You better stop partying with them leaves and branches. You better party with the roots. So back to the tree. Let's describe this tree again, because we're going to bring it to a close now. So when you look at this tree, you go outside and you look at a tree. I want you to go outside and look at a tree. Big, small, medium, don't matter what size of the tree. Because a big tree can only have 3 or 4 roots holding it. Ooh, what am I saying? It only takes a few people in your life to be roots. And here's the most important thing to this. It might be 4 or 5 people in your life that are really roots. And you looking on your social media trying to gain more followers when really the 10 followers that's really for you are the roots. You better look out who you add on your social media. Social media is big. You better watch out who following you. You better watch out who you tweeting. Because guess what? The same person that's following you may be hoping for your downfall. And it may be the leaf and the branch that you're going to the club with. I'm just keeping it real. So just a few roots keeps the tree together. Just a few people in your life keep you together. Here's the last point. This is what I had to realize about this tree. Even after somebody leaves this world and they go, and you know they've been a root in your life, they still are there even after they're gone. Because because sometimes the way that they may leave may be not in the best way, because some folks leave from gun violence, cancer, sickness, or it may just be their time. The reason why they leave, and the reason why they watch over you, and the reason why you ponder on them is because they still giving you shade, letting you know you can still do whatever you want to do and be whoever you want to be. And I had to realize that myself. Because when folks leave you, you gotta try to overcome the grief and the pain that you feel. And in reality, they're sitting there saying, I'm still there. So I want you to ponder the rest of this summer, the rest of this week. What type of shade are you giving? What type of shade are you giving? Are you a leaf that comes in people's life season to season? Are you the branch that when all hell breaks loose and when things go awry, you break off and dip? Or you just cut them off? Or are you the root that just keeps people stable? You ain't got to worry, and they ain't got to worry about folks knowing what you did, but you just there to keep them stable, keep you stable. That's what a root does. Going back to that, something to think about. A tree is there to give you shade, but not all shade is a good shade. All about the tree. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I want you to know next week we're going to get into this motivational word about passing the baton. If you run track, I'm going to need you on this live because we're going to talk about running track. Yeah, we're going to talk about running track and how it deals with passing the baton and how it's significant it is in your life. And then here in a few weeks, we're going to start this series. I want you to join me for this series that I'm doing, talking about getting it right and getting it together. It's a 3-part series, 3 nights. Please join me because, like I said, when I'm on this mic, I'm just a young man telling my story. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please, 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 I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. If you still are protesting, the most important thing is that you make it home. I'm signing off. Charles Walton. It's your boy, young man telling the story. Y'all be good.